hug me, kiss me, then push you. One of us need to say it. Stop dragging it in the dirt now. I want the good times. I wanna get so high. Baby, come into my life. We don't have a lot of time to love, because I know that you're under the sun, baby, laughing, baby, nothing less than under the sun.
Nicole Wray had it all: the voice, the look, and Missy Elliott in her corner. She was just 17 when her debut single Make It Hot exploded on the charts, and for a minute, it looked like she was about to be the next R&B superstar. But almost as fast as she rose, she vanished. So what happened? Because this wasn't just a case of a one-hit wonder fizzling out. This was a slow, silent erasure, backed by industry politics, broken promises, and a story that's way messier than anyone knew. And the craziest part? Nicole Wray did everything right. She had the talent, the cosigns, the grind. But still, none of it was enough. What went wrong? Was she overshadowed by the same people who were supposed to help her win? Stay tuned, because the truth behind Nicole Wray's career goes deeper than label drama. And by the end of this video, you might not see Missy Elliott, Timbaland, or even the entire R&B industry the same way again. Before the fame, the cosigns, and the charting singles, Nicole Wray was just a young girl in Portsmouth, Virginia, singing in church and holding onto a dream that felt bigger than her world. Her father led the choir, and to Nicole, watching him perform was like witnessing a superstar in his element. From the moment she saw him on that mic, she knew, that's what I want to do. But life had other plans. When her parents split, Nicole's dream took a back seat. Her heart was broken, and music became her safe space. She found comfort in Mariah Carey's voice, singing around the house, not just for fun, but with hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, if she sang loud enough, her father would come back and hear her. He never did. But someone else did. Her big break came in the most unexpected way, through her brother, who couldn't stop bragging about her voice at a local audition Missy Elliott was holding. And Missy? She didn't just say, "That's cute." She showed up to Nicole's front door. No heads up, no studio, just, "Let me hear you sing." Nicole was 17. No vocal warm-ups, no team, just her voice. And she sang like her life depended on it. Missy was floored. So much so that she signed Nicole on the spot. Just like that, she went from singing in her living room to being part of Missy Elliott's inner circle. It was every young artist's fantasy, discovered by a legend, plucked from obscurity, and handed a shot most people only dream about. It felt like the beginning of something massive. But here's the thing about the music industry. It knows how to make a dream feel real, right before it takes it away. Nicole didn't just get signed, she made noise. Her debut single Make It Hot dropped, and it did exactly what the title promised. It burned up the charts. Radio rotation, music video channels, club spins. Nicole Wray was everywhere. The song hit the Billboard Hot 100, and her debut album followed fast. Make It Hot, the album climbed to number 42 on the Billboard 200 and eventually went gold. Not bad for a teenager barely out of high school. The industry was watching. Missy Elliott had just proven she could launch new talent, and Nicole was her golden ticket. But even in her moment of glory, there were cracks nobody noticed. For starters, Timbaland, who produced the hit single, he only touched one track on the entire album, just one. And if you know anything about late 90s R&B, you know Timbaland was the guy. So why wasn't he all over Nicole's debut? Turns out, his beats didn't come cheap. And with a limited budget, it looked like they blew it all on the lead single, leaving the rest of the album to carry itself. Spoiler, it couldn't. And then there was the competition. 1,998 was stacked. We're talking Monica's The Boy Is Mine, Destiny's Child's debut, Faith Evans' Keep the Faith, and the My Stucation of Lauryn Hill, which by the way dropped the same exact day as Nicole's album. Translation? Nicole was talented, but she was thrown into a shark tank. Still, she didn't back down. She kept the momentum going by featuring on Missy's All in My Grill, showing she could hold her own next to her mentor. But Nicole didn't want to just be Missy's protege. She wanted to build her legacy. That's when she started working on her second album, Electric Blue, ready to step into the spotlight on her own terms. But this is where the story takes a sharp left. Nicole Wray was hungry. She'd had a hit, made her mark, and now she was ready to prove she wasn't just Missy Elliott's sidekick. She was a force. Her second album, Electric Blue, was supposed to be that moment. For the first time, Nicole was writing her own songs, finding her sound, and stepping into the driver's seat. And she had the confidence to back it up. She even dropped a lead single, I'm Lookin'. And while it didn't chart like Make It Hot, it had fans excited. But here's where things got messy. Behind the scenes, Nicole started to realize something. She wasn't a priority anymore. Missy Elliott, her mentor, her friend, was signing new artists left and right. The focus wasn't on Electric Blue. It wasn't even really on Nicole. She tried to get answers. She confronted Missy about what was going on with her album. Missy's response? You're going to have to slow down. Nicole later admitted, I was getting drowned. I had no voice. Sometimes I feel like a mother shouldn't have a whole bunch of children. Translation? She was getting lost in the shuffle, and she knew it. But it wasn't just the lack of support. Nicole herself was overwhelmed. She wasn't ready for the pressure of being a celebrity. She was young. Her mom was managing her. Missy was still learning the business. Nobody was really equipped to navigate the chaos. And just when she needed the most guidance, she felt completely alone. So she made a bold decision. She walked away. That move officially buried Electric Blue. The album was shelved, gone, never released. And just like that, the momentum was dead. But if you thought that was the low point, the next chapter, it nearly ended her career altogether. After walking away from her sophomore album, Nicole Wray didn't just step out of the spotlight. She disappeared into silence. No press, no features, no buzz. And in the music industry, silence is deadly. One day you're the next big thing, the next, people are asking, whatever happened to her? Behind the scenes, Nicole was spiraling. She'd gone from being Missy Elliott's protege to completely lost, abandoned by the very system that once hyped her up. She later opened up about feeling depressed, alone, and unsure of who she was outside of music. To survive, she started writing for other artists, just to keep herself connected to the game. But even that felt like survival, not passion. The industry had moved on, and without a label backing her, there wasn't much she could do. And here's the ugly truth most people don't talk about. When you're a young Black woman in R&B, you don't get endless second chances. You get one shot to prove yourself. And if the machine doesn't think you're marketable enough, you're out. Quietly. No headline. Just gone. Nicole started questioning everything. Even her faith. She remembered how, years earlier, her pastor warned her not to pursue secular music, told her she was serving the devil. She'd brushed it off at the time, but now, in her lowest moments, she wondered if those words were a prophecy. Was this all a sign? Was she being punished? But just when it felt like the door had fully closed, someone unexpected came knocking. Just when Nicole Wray thought the industry had closed the door on her for good, Dame Dash kicked it open. It was the mid-2000s. Rockafella Records was flying high, and Dame wanted to branch out. Hip-hop was already locked down. But R&B? That was the next frontier. And Nicole? He saw her as the perfect face of that expansion. They met through producer Con Burks, and Dame didn't waste time. He offered her a deal on the spot. And for the first time in years, Nicole felt seen again. Not as Missy's artist, not as some forgotten one-hit wonder, but as Nicole Wray, a solo artist with unfinished business. She signed with Rockafella and dropped her new single, If I Was Your Girlfriend. It wasn't a smash hit, but it mattered, because it meant she was back in the game. And this time, she had a label that believed in her. Her confidence came rushing back. She poured everything into what was supposed to be her true second album, the one that Electric Blue never got to be. But then, everything collapsed. And not because of anything Nicole did. Behind the scenes, Rockafella was crumbling. Jay-Z and Dame Dash were at war. Their split wasn't just personal. It tore the label in half. And Nicole? She didn't get a call. She didn't get a meeting. She found out Rockafella was done the same way everyone else did, by reading it online. I went back home, got on the internet, and saw Rockafella Records is done. Jay-Z's going this way, Dame's going that way. I was like, what? Nobody told me nothing. Just like that, her second chance vanished. No album, no rollout, no explanation. Twice now, Nicole had built a comeback, only to have it pulled out from under her at the last second. But if you think she was done, you don't know Nicole Wray. Nicole Wray finally had a second chance. After years of feeling invisible, Dame Dash brought her into Rockafella with big promises. New direction, creative freedom, and a serious R&B push. And for the first time in a long time, she felt like someone believed in her again. She dropped If I Was Your Girlfriend, and while it didn't chart like her debut, it didn't need to. It was a reset. Nicole was finding her voice again. And this time, she was doing it without being in anyone's shadow. The plan was simple. Finish the album, build momentum, and finally release the sophomore project she never got to drop under Missy. But then everything exploded, behind the scenes and without warning. Jay-Z and Dame Dash, Rockafella's two power players, were in a full-blown war. Their relationship fell apart, and with it, the entire label collapsed. Contracts unraveled. Projects were shelved. Artists were left in the dark. And Nicole? She wasn't even looped in. She found out the label was done the same way fans did, by reading it online. I went home, got on the internet, and saw Rockafella is done. Jay-Z's going this way, Dame's going that way. I was like, what? Nobody told me anything. No phone call, no explanation, just silence. And just like that, her second comeback vanished. It was a devastating déjà vu. First, Missy. Now Rockafella. Two high-profile deals, two promising albums, both gone before they even had a chance to live. But what hurt most wasn't the failure. It was the betrayal. Nicole had done everything right. She showed up, she kept creating, she kept believing. But the people around her kept dropping the ball. At this point, most artists would have walked away completely. And honestly, no one would have blamed her. But Nicole Wray, she wasn't done yet. After surviving two failed album rollouts, industry betrayal, and years of silence, Nicole Wray could have faded out completely. And honestly, the industry wouldn't have noticed. But instead of chasing validation, she chose something way harder: reinvention. She dropped the Nicole Wray name altogether and re-emerged as Lady Wray. It wasn't just a rebrand, it was a rebirth. With her old stage name came too much baggage, expectations she didn't set, albums that never dropped, moments that slipped through her fingers. As Lady Wray, she had nothing left to prove and everything left to say. In 2016, she released Queen Alone, her long-overdue sophomore album. It wasn't flashy. No big budget push, no superstar features. No attempt to chase radio trends. It was soulful, stripped down, and personal. The kind of music that doesn't beg for attention. It demands respect. I was in a happy state of mind while recording this. It's a reflection of my soul. It's who I am today. And you could hear it. The heartbreak, the growth, the quiet confidence of someone who's been through the fire and made it out whole. She wasn't hiding behind industry polish anymore. Lady Wray was raw, grounded, and in full control. This time, there was no label calling the shots. No industry machine chewing her up and spitting her out. She was working with Big Crown Records, an indie label known for letting artists be artists. And the best part? The fans were still there. Not all of them. Not the ones who only show up for radio hits, but the ones who remembered, who were waiting, who knew that talent like hers doesn't just disappear. Lady Wray was no longer trying to be the next big thing. She was building something better, something that would last. Lady Wray might not be topping the Hot 100, but make no mistake, she's winning in a way most artists from her era never got to. Today, she pulls in over 500,000 monthly Spotify listeners. Not from a label push, not from viral gimmicks, but from real fans who never stopped writing for her. Fans who grew up on Make It Hot, watched her disappear, and were still there when she came back with a new name and a new sound. In an industry obsessed with youth, trends, and quick wins, Lady Wray's story hits different. She didn't just survive the machine, she escaped it. And instead of chasing relevance, she found freedom. Her music now lives on her terms. No more industry gatekeepers. No more executives deciding whether she's marketable enough. She's not trying to compete with the new wave. She's doing something way more powerful, building a timeless catalog. Since Queen alone, she's dropped even more music, each project rooted in live instrumentation, rich soul, and the kind of storytelling that doesn't age. And that's the thing. Lady Wray isn't trying to go viral. She's not trying to make a comeback. She's just making art. And clearly, people are listening. Because in the era of digital noise and short attention spans, pulling 500,000 monthly listeners as an indie soul artist, that's not nostalgia. That's respect. She may have been pushed to the margins, but she carved out a lane so solid she doesn't need the mainstream anymore. And honestly, that's the real win. She turned what could have been a forgotten career into a quiet revolution, proving that when you stop trying to fit into the industry's mold, that's when your legacy really begins. Nicole Wray didn't disappear. She just evolved into someone the industry never saw coming. Nicole Wray went from industry it girl to invisible, then came back as Lady Wray, fully in control and more soulful than ever. She survived label politics, broken promises, and 2 separate career collapses, and still found her way back to the mic on her own terms. No gimmicks, no industry favors, just talent and tenacity. And honestly, that might be more impressive than a platinum plaque. But it makes you wonder, how many more Nicole Wrays are out there? Artists with the talent, the drive, the everything, who just never got a fair shot. And more importantly, if she had dropped her debut today, in the age of TikTok and independent virality, would things have turned out differently? Let me know what you think in the comments. Because the industry may have slept on Nicole Wray, but clearly the internet didn't.